welcome in Tamers. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about Chronicles here. Now, it's a very bizarre time for those that love Alphamon. He is of course a Royal Knight, so woo, Royal Knight support, we do love it. However, everybody got excited once we saw Alphamon Ouryuken being announced. But then came the problem of the support to get into this Ouryuken ace. Ended up being a completely new line that didn't really push X antibody. We got the Grademon and we got the Hisariumon back. And it ended up being a trait called Chronicles. Now, for me, I absolutely love Alphamon, and I know one of my friends, DHM, also really enjoys it. And we were both thinking like, oh, this is going to be great. This support is going to be great. We're going to get a new Dorimon, we're going to get a new Ryudamon. We can see that it's Kota Yuji. And these cards look amazing. So surely this is going to be a great deck, right? Unfortunately, there's something just about the entire Chronicle box where it just lacks power. And okay, sure, it has plus 5000 DPs if you're in attack. It has immunity, it has sec +1. It has no security option effects. It has deletion when a security is removed. It has DP minus when a security is removed. It has barrier. It has bounce and leave the field protection. But something about it just doesn't feel right. And that's what we're going to cover a little bit today. So, recently we've had the new Promo 176 Dorimon released, not even revealed, just released, which really does help Chronicles scale quite a bit quicker. It reads as such. Of course, this is the egg, of course, so Dorimon. The inherit is when attacking, this Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the Chronicle trait in the hand. Makes sense, right? Because the whole thing about Chronicles is attacking and evolving when you're attacking. That's the whole point of it. So this Dorimon works really well with something like the Ginryu, or it works well with the Grademon, because sometimes you're always stuck on your 5 and you're not able to get into the 6. Additionally, it also works well with the Kota Yuji because you're able to scale a lot quicker, a lot faster. So that's the Dorimon egg, and it's a really nice addition, don't get me wrong, but it's not quite the power the deck needs, in my opinion. We're moving on to the level 3s, where we have BT20 Ryudamon, the inherit all the red side sources, so Ryuda, Ginryu, Hisaryu, and Ouryumon. Well, not Ouryumon, sorry. Not even Hisariumon. I'm all over the place. But Ryuda and Ginryu both have the inherit of this Digimon gets plus 2000 during your turn, whereas the Dorimon and Raptordramon are during the opponent's turn, this Digimon gains 2000. Ryudamon, though, its main effect, not even main effect, but it's your turn effect, when this Digimon would digivolve into Ginryu or a Digimon with a Chronicle trait, reduce the evolution cost by 1. We're seeing a lot of this stuff with rookies these days, and it's very nice and very welcome in my opinion, because it allows those that play decks that sometimes need to scale quickly to evolve quicker and cheaper. We saw it in Zephagamon quite early. It was one of the first cards it got, of course, in the EX7 Terramon. Evolving into a bird or avian, it was reduced by 1, but here, in the case of Ryudamon, it is a Ginryu or Chronicle trait. And it's very nice because you don't really have off turns with this deck, right? And we'll get into a little bit of that reason why a little bit later. But yeah, but you don't really have off turn, so being able to constantly like evolve for cheap is needed. And with the Dorimon egg as well, it's even nicer as well, because you can swing with the Ryuda, for example, evolve into say Ginryu or Raptor for 1, play out the Kota, just continue to cycle and all that stuff, get a free check-in as well. It's very nice. We are of course also running 4 of the BT7 Dorimon. It's a staple in X-Anti decks. But in this case, it also allows us to search out the Kota, seeing as the Dual Tamer, the 5-cost Dual Tamer, is also treated as Kota/Yuji. So it's very nice, and we all know what the inherit does is when a card is added to the sources, gain 1 memory. You're not really adding to sources too much in this deck, don't get me wrong, so this is more of a quota searcher and a piece searcher, as all of the pieces except for the options and tamers and all that have X antibody. But it's just a great staple for anything Alphamon, really, let's be honest. But yeah, we do have the ability to add something to sources in the form of X anti proto form, but not going to be your ideal. This is going to be like your hard drop, I need to search sort of card. We are finally also running for BT20 Dorimon, which is on play reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with X anti trait and 1 Tamer card or option card with a Chronicle trait, you hand, return the rest to the bottom. So basically doing the exact same as the Dorimon here, except it also allows us to search out Fellowship of Hope's Keeper, which, as you can see, this is a pure Chronicle box. This isn't the X anti variant, this is just straight anything listed with Chronicles is in this deck. And it kind of works, it does kind of work, just not quite the power it needs, as I've said. Onto the 4s though, there are only 2 4s, so 8 cards total. I've already touched on it slightly. We've got the Ginryu. When attacking, this Digimon may digivolve into Hisaryu, or a Digimon with a Chronicle trait in hand. So again, if you're already on Ginryu with Dorian sources, you're going to be able to possibly evolve twice and get both effects. Now it is tough because Dorimon forces you to evolve full cost, and Ginryu also forces you to evolve full cost, whereas the dual Tamer reduces that evolution by 1. So not the ideal scaling, but you're able to get higher, faster, and just it makes your life a little bit easier as a Chronicles player. Raptordramon, of course, is the counterpart to that, and it has a Wind Digivolving effect of, if you have 1 or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 Kota from your hand without paying the cost. Cool. There's not really any Yuji specific cards in this deck, right? There are Kota specific cards, so it looks like it wants to kind of force you into that Kota side of things. But at this current time, there is just no Yuji card, so it feels very, very strange and lackluster, right? Sure, the old Yuji, the BT8 Yuji, I think it was, works well with this deck as well because they're all X antibody. So it is still an X anti deck at heart, just not quite. Moving on to level 5s, there are once again only 2 level 5s, and we've mentioned them already. But we do have the Hisaryumon. On play when digivolving, you may play 1 Dorimon or Ouryuken from hand to your empty breeding area without paying the cost. Then, if during an attack, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your Digimon gains Security Attack +1 and 5000 DP. Great, DP buffs, swing buffs. Cool, give it to the stack you're on. Very nice. Doing 2 checks on the stack that you're attacking with. Your turn. Inherit, sorry. This Digimon doesn't activate security effects of opponents' option cards, it checks. Why it only specifies option cards, I don't quite understand, but I'm going to take it nonetheless. It's a very, very nice welcome introduction to the Alphamon world. Grademon, once again, is the counterpart to that. So, on play when digivolving, you may play 1 Dorimon or Ouryuken from your hand to your empty breeding area. Then, if during an attack, until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your Digimon isn't affected by your opponent's Digimon effects and gets plus 5000 DP. Whereas the Inherit is opponent's turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to this Digimon. Cool, so it's a redirect, it gains Digimon card immunity, and still gets that plus 5000. So to me, in my opinion, this Grademon is more preferred over the Hisaryumon. But that's just me. Onto the 6s, once again, as you can imagine, there are only 2 level 6s, really, that we want to run. And they are the Ouryuken, the sword himself. He has native piercing, and then on play when digivolving, he can de-digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon. Then if during an attack, one of your opponent's Digimon Then, if during an attack, one of your Digimon in the breeding area may digivolve into a level 6 or lower Chronicle trait Digimon card in the hand without paying the cost. Cool. You can have a level 5 in the breeding area and evolve into Alphamon. I don't know why you would, seeing as you're not going to get the effects, but that is something you can do. And it's a very strange thing to be able to suddenly affect the raising area. And we'll get into why it's a little bit strange once we reach the Tamer once again. But the all turns effect of Ouryuken, when security stacks are removed from, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. Very nice. The inherit on Ouryuken, because they've given Ouryuken and Alphamon inherits here. When attacking once per turn, if this Digimon is Alphamon Ouryuken, trash your opponent's top security. Amazing! Cool! Absolutely stunning. Bandai are going insane. They've actually given us some great inherits. It's not quite the same as Ouryuken once per turn, if this Digimon has Alphamon in its name, unsuspend. But nonetheless, we cannot complain. We cannot complain. Moving on to Alphamon, has native barrier on play when digivolving, recover 1, then if during an attack one of your Digimon in the breeding area may digivolve into a level 6 or lower Chronicle trait Digimon card in the hand or trash without paying the cost. Same as Ouryuken, being able to scale quickly without paying cost, very nice. And the all turns, instead of deleting the lowest DP, it is when a security stack is removed, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 8,000 DP for the turn. All turns, as the inherit, when this Digimon would leave the battle area other than by one of your effects, if this Digimon is Alphamon Ouryuken, by trashing a top security it doesn't leave. It's all round barrier, which is very nice. Now we talk about the big boy here, Alphamon Ouryuken. He is an ace card, so it's not the end of the world. He has Blast DNA Digivolution with Alphamon and Ouryuken. Not only that, he can normal DNA with a black source and either a yellow or red. So it works well with either source really, as long as one of them is black. And yes, that does mean that it works well with old Ouryuken. However, seeing as old Ouryuken is pure black, that means that you can use the new Ouryuken or the new Alphamon to be the second part of that DNA. And it's very strange. I will say, once again, you can run the pure, well, you can run X antibody version, which runs old Ouryuken at, I think, 2 copies? I think it's 2 copies these days. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But this card is insane. It's running Royal Knights, of course. But for what it is, it just does, it just goes hard. On play when digivolving, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 15,000 DP until the end of their turn. Very nice. So if they have plus DP during your turn, if they're unaffected during your turn, give them this minus 15,000 DP tag, and then once you pass turn, hopefully they become affected and therefore they will perish. But the caveat is, then if DNA digivolving, trash your opponent's top security and you recover 1. However, that works perfectly with the all turns when security stacks are removed from, gain 3 memory. What? What? If your opponent doesn't have a memory setter and you find a way to somehow taunt your opponent, Dorimon from the SOC Dorimon, Laplace Demon, neither of which are run in this deck, but you know. Then your opponent swings, they check a security, and you pull turn back to you. It's just insane. It makes no sense. And it works perfectly with the Ouryuken because you're able to trigger it every turn then. Because you just swing with Ouryuken, trash top security, gain 3 memory, and you're good to go. This card is a menace throughout everything. And it's only an SR. Like, I'm showing the SP artwork here, don't get me wrong, but it's only an SR card. It just makes no sense. Moving on to the Koterin Yuji that I've been talking about constantly. It is a 5-cost Tamer, but I think it's justified here. It's a memory setter for 1, so it would cost 4 anyway. But of course, your turn, when one of your Chronicle trait Digimon attacks, by suspending this Tamer, one of your Digimon on the field may digivolve into a level 6 or lower Chronicle trait Digimon in the hand with the cost reduced by 1. Now, I emphasized field there because breeding area counts as field these days. Can't remember which comprehensive rules update it was, but I think it was the time where Omnimon Ace came out and everybody was querying if you'd lose memory if it was to get sucked up by Idrisil. Or King Drasil, sorry. So, being able to... one of your Digimon attacks being able to tap the Kota Yuji and just evolve in Raising is very, very funny. It's wild to me. Not only that though, this card once again lets you scale very quickly. If you swing with Ryudamon with a Dorimon underneath, you swing with Ryuda, oh, and you have a Tamer on field, you can get into your 5 off of that easily. As long as you have 2 of these you may evolve when attacking things, you're kind of good to go no matter what, and you're more likely than not going to get into your 6s, or your 5s at least, and if it's a Grademon, become immune, or you're going to gain that plus 5,000. It's kind of just insane. It's still quite lackluster that it does nothing else, but it's letting you attack while you're... It's letting you evolve while you're attacking, so it makes so much sense. Looking at options here, I'm going to skip ahead to Black Memory Boost because we know what it does. Reveal top 4, add a Black Digimon. Return the rest to the bottom of the deck. An X-Anti Proto Form, we know what this does at this point as well. You reveal it, say that you're playing X-Anti Proto, you evolve into an X-Anti trait Digimon for 1 less, and then you tuck Proto Form. Remember, the tucking is the last thing that it does, so it will trigger Dorimon, for example, the gain memory one. But you've got to remember that tucking is the last thing you do. It is not BT9 X-Anti where you place it under and then you evolve. And I see a lot of people misplaying that, and at some point if you enter a large tournament, that one person that's having a bad day will judge call you on it, and your whole day will get destroyed, right? But the final piece of this deck is Fellowship of Hope's Keepers. It is a 3-cost black option, and the main effect is reveal top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Chronicle trait card among them to your hand, that can be option, Digimon, or Tamer. Return the rest to the top or the bottom of the deck, then place this card in battle. All turns effect, when any of your Chronicle trait Digimon are deleted, in any way, shape or form, delay. By moving your level 3 or higher Chronicle trait Digimon from breeding area to battle area, it may digivolve into a Chronicle trait Digimon card in the hand, or trash, without paying the cost. Absolutely insane. So once again, I was talking about having a level 5 in Raising. This will allow you that if your Chronicle trait Digimon on board dies, you can raise it out, and then evolve into a new Alphamon Ouryuken, into a new Grademon Hisaru, but because you're still in an attack, I believe you can still activate the if this Digimon was in an attack. Oh no, because it's not this Digimon. Either way, the security effect of this is you may play 1 Chronicle trait Digimon card with a play cost of 5 or less from your hand or trash without paying the cost, then place this card in the battle area. That means that you can play out your Tamer, you can play out either of your 4s, you can play out Searchers, or you can play out the Ryudamon. And the only things you cannot play out are the 5s, 6s, and Ouryuken, although it's very close because Ouryuken is a cost of 9. And that's kind of just the Chronicle box. That's pure Chronicles. I love this deck with all my heart, but it just needs a little bit more power boost, but I can't put my finger on what it is. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed, so I'm going to get the hashtag out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Stay safe.